as we could this today we have with us Akash sir, who will be taking the session forward and will be teaching us on how to create a hands-on effect of Yondu Udonta, one of the most famous comic cartoon characters. So I hope it's going to be a lovely and insightful session for all of us. So without any further delay, let's begin with the session. Over to you, sir.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'll show you the effect first. So let me just share my screen with you. So this is the effect that we'll be making today. As you can see that the arrow of Yondu, which is his main weapon, is basically rotating around the head. And we'll also try to make the skin tones blue
I'm
because
extremely
Yondu
sorry
is a
to
blue
interrupt
character.
you, sir.
So with a few simple changes,
Can
we
you hear
will
me out?
try to make the skin blue.
Like, can you hear me out, Akash sir?
So I shall start by creating a new folder or a new file altogether so we can start from the
Akash sir,
scratch.
can you hear me out?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was saying I think there's some kind of
yeah, I can hear you.
internet lag from your side. Your screen is also not visible.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was saying that there is some lag from your side. Your screen is also not visible.
1 second. Actually, your voice is cracking. I'll just switch the. Okay, okay. 1 second.
Like I have switched to the different network. Yeah, is it clear now? I was saying I have switched to different network. Now there's no glitch from my end. You can please present your screen and we are good to go.
Okay, 1 second. Uh, yeah, is the screen visible now?
Yeah, your screen is perfectly visible now.
Okay. So this is the effect that we'll be trying to recreate. As the main weapon of Yondu is this arrow. We'll be trying to make the arrow rotate around the head, and we'll also try to make the skin tones blue. As we all know that Yondu's main skin color is blue. So let's begin by making it from scratch. So I'll just open a new file. So yeah, this is the interface that you will be presented with when you open Spark AI for the first time. And I'll just go through quickly that what all you are seeing here. So this is the live demonstration. Like if you will be playing the video or the effect on the mobile phone, this is what the screen represents. You can change the devices, like the resolution of the device which you are trying to use, so that you can simulate on different devices, and you can test that your device that your filter works on multiple devices. So I'll just start by creating. I'll go into the camera and I'll go into segmentation and I'll click on skin segmentation. So this creates a texture which is just segmenting or rather differentiating the skin from rest of the scene. I'll go into focal distance, I'll add an object and I'll go into canvas. Canvas is just a blank screen which has nothing in it. It's like a blank canvas on which you can paint or you can draw or you can write anything. So I'll add a rectangle onto it. Here you can see a rectangle has been added. and I'll just fill it with the material for the rectangle, and the change is standard is that it's by default going into standard, but we need it in flat. And for the texture, we just took the texture from the segmentation, the skin segmentation texture. So I'll just click on here and the drop down will come down and I'll just click on this. You can see that it's trying to segment the skin, rather it's trying to cover up the skin. So here I'll change this color to blue. This is not the accurate shade. Let's go with the rough shade right now. And here you can see that's trying to cover the whole skin section only. It's not covering the background or the shirt or the hair. It's only covering the skin. So I changed the blend mode from alpha to multiply. So here you can see that its skin tone has changed from a little dark brown to blue, and it works on all different types of videos. So what I have here is videos, and these videos will be there in Spark AR Studio by default. You can click on the selection of these. It will be rotating head, so this is the effect of Yondu. So let's say I want to make Gamora, which has got skin. So just with this one,
So
change
can you hear me
the
out?
skin tone actually do me anymore. So it's not this external device, which is here, the
So can
second
you hear me
option.
out?
What
Hello.
I want to do with this filter. I wanted to use in stories. So there's a sharing experience. If I wanted to be used in video calling, you have the video calling experience. And if I wanted to be used in Facebook ads, you have the Facebook ads experience. Currently, we'll be just using the
So
sharing experience. And I'll be turning
Akash
off
sir,
Facebook. Yes?
I was saying that I'll suggest, can you please shut your camera down because there's some kind of
Yeah.
internet glitch. So it will help if we can turn off the camera.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Am I still audible? Oh.
you're perfectly audible, sir.
So here with this simple 3 to 4 steps that we have done, we have already changed the skin tone of this character. And here, if I click on to my assets, which is the lowermost panel here, I'll go into textures and I'll click on the texture which we just took from the camera, the segmentation skin texture. Here I can change the skin softness, which is the edges. So you can see that the little bit of green is going outside of the face, rather than the skin. So I can reduce the softness a little bit, and here you can see that there's the skin is not going outside as much as it was going before. So you can play around with the settings and tweak it according to yourself. It actually depends on the on your own taste that how you want effects to look. So currently, as we are making the Yondu effect, I change it back to the blue color. And here I feel that this is actually quite dark for them. So I'll just reduce the opacity a little bit. So it is matching with the, so it goes well with the skin tones. You can test it out on other videos that it looks good on all different type of skin tones so that all people can use your effect. So next we'll be making the arrow. So we are in Spark Air Studio and we want the arrow of Yondu. So it's either that you would have to download the 3D model from somewhere, or you will have to make it from scratch. And that is a whole other hustle of going into Blender and trying to learn a new software altogether. So we'll be making the 3D object in Spark AR itself. So I'll just currently make this canvas invisible by clicking the visible button here. It's an on and off toggle, which is quite convenient actually. So we will be trying to make the arrow, the 3D model of the arrow in Spark AR itself. So I would just go to click on focal distance, and I would go on add object, and I will create a null object. Null object is just a placeholder. It has got nothing inside it. You cannot see it. It is just an empty thing that you are trying to move around. Now I will try to recreate the 3D model, and we need an arrow. So we will go to the asset library, and I'll go into 3D objects. And here we can see there are a variety of 3D objects that you can choose from. And if I go to view all, there is endless possibilities actually. So these 3D models are from Sketchfab, but I will simply just go into 3D models, and I will select from these few basic shapes. So I'll go and click on the shape which I think will be useful for the arrow. I will go into, I think I'll need the cylinder. So I'll just click on import. It will download and it will be imported on the folder. So here we can see that the cylinder has been already imported into the file. I'll download a few more shapes which I think are required. So I go and download a cone, which may be the tip of the arrow, maybe a tetrahedron, which is like a three-sided pyramid, or maybe a sphere, which we can use. Download an octahedron. So here we can see we have a variety of 3D shapes which I have just imported into. I click on the null object and make sure that its position is 0, 0, 0. And now I will click the plus button here, and I shall create a material. I shall name this material red, as the color of this material shall be red. I create another material, and I'll name this golden, as I want the main arrow to be golden in color. So red and golden combination. And now I have two materials already created, and the previous material which we had already created for the skin segmentation. I'll just change its name by double clicking on it. So here we have the null object, and I'll be simply dragging and dropping this cylinder. So here you can see in the scene that the cylinder has been added. So here I can click on the cylinder and I can move it about. You can bring it in front of the camera. I could take it to left and right by using these arrows, or by inputting the position which is on the right hand side of the screen. Currently I'm this new zero. And I'll just be adding the basic shapes which I think are important. So I'll be adding a phone, and just move it a little above so that it's easy to differentiate between the objects so that they don't fit into each other. I'll also add an tetrahedron, which is a three-sided pyramid, and add a sphere, and I'll add a octahedron. So here we have the shapes that we had just downloaded. Now using these shapes, we will be simply creating the arrow. So first I'll take the cylinder and I'll try to lengthen it. So this is I'm moving it up and down and using these toggles above. The second one is for rotation, so I can rotate the cylinder, and with this toggle I can change the scale of the cylinder. So I want and then I want to make it a little slimmer. Arrow is that thick, so I just click on the scale and use the 0 tip. So I am currently invisible. I make the tetrahedron go up. If I go up, I just move by clicking on scale toggle. I'll move my mouse to the center so that the whole toggle turns white. And I'll click and drag, and here you can see the size of it decreases. Now I want to lengthen it again, so I'll just click and drag again. So here you can see that the tetrahedron has been lengthened. If I don't like the length, I would just press Ctrl Z, which is the undo button. I want the tetrahedron to be rotating, so I will just simply rotate it. I find this of the tip. Yeah, that's it. Now the arrow of it is actually quite complex, so we try to create it as accurate as possible. So I'll make the cone visible again, and I'll just move it down, and then I will change its rotation. I want the arrow tip to be facing downwards. So we basically rotated it 180 degrees. So I'll just type in minus 180, and the cone has been rotated. I want this to be in the center of the screen. So I'll just click on the cone and I'll press F on the keyboard, and the cone has been sent to the center of the screen. I'll just zoom in pressing Control, and I'll just play around with its scale until I like it. I'll be turning off the other shapes which are coming in the front. I like this cone to be a little lower, so I just break it down so that it goes flawlessly with the arrow. So here you can see, I'll just press Control and zoom out a little bit. And here you can see that the basic arrow has been made, and it's got no colors. So I'll just be clicking on cylinder. I'll click on cylinder again, which is its main 3D model. And here I can see there's an option of materials. I click on the drop down and I click on golden. So here we can see it's got a yellow golden color. I'll change this. So like this you can change the colors and the materials of all the shapes, the individual shapes of the arrow. Now we have an octahedron here, and we also have a sphere that we haven't used. So we'll be using these multiple times. So I want to add this sphere two times. So there are two ways of doing this. I could just right click on it and I could click duplicate, and another sphere has been created in the same position. So I can move it, then I can see there are two spheres created. So I have to press Ctrl Z, and here if the sphere is still there, I have created it. Whenever if I undo, should I but because after creating it, we also change this position. So here we have two spheres actually. I press Ctrl Z again. We have a sphere. I the layer a little bit so that it looks good. I'll be pressing Control and D, which is the same thing as right clicking, and duplicating. Here we have the Control D option. And I'll just duplicate this and I'll move its position above. Now same using the sphere. This is the highest sphere. I change its material first to red and then play around with it a little bit. I'm changing the scale of the sphere again to make it a little more appealing. So here we have the basic shape of the arrow actually make. I'll add a few details. So let's say I wanna make a little fins around this. So let's create a few fins. I'll be dragging and dropping a tetrahedron here. The tetrahedron. And I'll just rotate it. Now I want to make fins. So it's a triangle. I want it to go inwards like a star shape. So I'll actually do a very simple thing, which is make it thinner, and then I'll duplicate this multiple times. I think so. This is thin enough. I make it a little thinner, and I'll move it down.
Guys, I think there is some kind of internet glitch from our mentor's side. So till the time he's joining back, you can put down your queries or anything you have in the chat section. Just give me a minute.
Yeah. Okay, okay. I'll join again at least. Okay, okay. I'll just continue. I'll just reconnect to some other Wi-Fi. I'll just keep this one.
Guys, our mentor is just joining in a minute, so we are extremely sorry for the technical glitch happening here. You know, by the time he joins, you can please, ask any kind of queries or questions you have from your side, how to design, how to do the things. He'll just take 1 minute and he'll be back.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible right now? Hello. Yeah, yeah. I'll just.
So yeah, guys, I think the mentor is back again, and we are extremely sorry for the technical glitch. So you can again, reshare your screen, and we can again go ahead with the effect. Hello, Akash sir, am I audible? Hello, am I audible, sir? Hello, now you are audible, sir. Hello, 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 hello.